Number 7, the Interlude. This is a beautiful harp solo right in the middle of the piece. And I'm going to try playing through it and then talk about some various aspects. Something like that. So, what are the things to think about in this piece? Well, first of all, the overall quality of the piece throughout most of it, it's very quiet and it's peaceful in a way, but you also want to have that sense of movement so that we're just sort of, we're floating, but we're not stuck. That there's this, it's as if we're in this, I don't know, nice warm Gulf current or something that's just flowing down, and it's not, it's almost as if we don't feel that we're moving, but we also don't feel as if we're stuck, so that it doesn't get too slow. That's just something to think about. Right off the top we have these harmonics, and you know, I do them just the normal left-hand way. They're fairly high. There is a possibility of playing them as if, you know, with the right hand thing with the number 2. And you can tell I don't do that very often. That is something, if you've never tried that before, that is very handy if for some reason, you know, the right hand's doing something up here. and there's a harmonic written that's too high to do, to do this, you can play it as if it were the right hand, the same technique with the index finger. But I don't mind. These do get a little high, but they're still quite playable with the base of the palm, and I prefer that sound, and I'm also better at that. I would have to practice that more, but just that's something to be aware of, that you can do that. And you probably noticed I took the last couple harmonics of that little run up in the right hand. You will also notice that I have I have 1, 2, 3 written all along here, just showing the placement of each of these chords. And I would highly recommend that you do that. It just makes it so much easier than trying to read that, because it's so easy to just make a mistake and put it in the wrong spot, and having these down here just makes it, you don't even need to worry about that. It's just really simple and highly recommended. When we come down here and we start getting these larger chords, I'm giving them a break, and I've never been completely convinced on that. In some ways, I like the idea of just keeping them flat. The problem with that is that, especially as we get louder, they can become pretty harsh, and this piece isn't. It does get louder, but it's not harsh. And so by having a break, it spreads the sound out a little bit, and it helps make it a little bit warmer. So I do think that some sort of break is the way to go, but again, that's just something, play around, see what your own sense is, what your own ear and sense of aesthetic wants there. This is a neat section. It's in a bigger hall, because if you start getting those notes, they just can ring through, and we've had all this quiet stuff, and then suddenly we got all this glorious sound. So that's a neat section, that whole little section there. And what else have we got? These glisses at the end, I know that, again, you can try to place them as written. There have been times when I've gotten lazy and just, kept glissing without trying to get them precisely where as marked, and I think that's fine. It's an awfully slow gliss. That gliss, the amount of time you have from to the bottom and the turnaround is quite a long time. So if you're having trouble with that, I think you should feel free to have a little bit of freedom there. Britain's not gonna come out of the audience and start yelling at you. So, and that's about all I have to say on that one. Let's go on to In Freezing Winter Night.